No, you're all right. No, take a seat. Take a seat. Don't feel you got to talk, mind. I'm probably not best of company right now, anyway. Yeah, I'm Pete, by the way. My mates call me Rocky. How did I get that name? Oh, it's a long story. You look like someone I can trust. Well, maybe you're not. Actually, I don't really care what happens to me anymore. So I'll tell you, I was one of the followers of Joshua. You'll have heard of him. Oh yes, you'll have seen the news. What happened to him? I'm still in shock, devastated. He were only 33, 33 years of age. Too young to die. No one should have died like he did. And I still don't understand it. But he turned out to be the best mate I ever had. And I probably don't look like a mate of a courageous young man like Josh, do I? Go on, be honest. But he gave me a completely new life, serving others, mending damaged lives. Or so I thought. I've spent most of my life at Trolman. Bridlington's where I'm from. And, happen I might go about there. I mean, it's not to keep me here now, Anyway, I'm a marked man. Fishing's all I knew. It's a life I loved. And I still do. I worked with my brother Andy. And we had a great crew. Oh, I love the thrill of being out on the North Sea. I love the wind, the power of the waves. The excitement of a new catch. I mean, back-breaking work at times, Dangerous too if the weather turned the wrong way. And after a good trip, we'd have a few beers together and enjoy some entertainment. Oh, great lads they were. We had some good times. But there was a time about 3 years ago when something happened inside me, I mean, life at home was becoming a bit difficult, I was restless and I wanted something more. Something different, I couldn't quite place it. I couldn't get my head straight, but anyway, one summer afternoon, Andy and I were walking along the beach at Bridlington, doing a bit of line fishing. And this young bloke came up to us, nice bloke, warm, friendly. It was Joshua. Although we didn't know so at the time, of course. And he started talking about this project to change people's hearts. Well, change people's lives, A new vision, he called it. And I thought, oh, well, maybe there's just a lot of big talk, but there was something about him. And he said, why don't you both come on board with me? And I will make you fishers of people. Well, I didn't quite know what he meant. But anyway, he invited us to a meeting at a bar that night. And he said, come on, meet the team. He said, so we went and we heard him talk. Full pub, I can tell you. Everyone there was hanging on to his every word. Oh, hearing him talk, it were like listening to poetry. And I felt somewhat change inside me. And later, Andy said he felt the same way. I mean, I didn't understand everything he was saying, man, I had a lot of questions. Oh, I was asking lots of questions. But I liked him, we kind of, we clicked. And at closing time, when he said, did we want to join the team? We didn't have to think about it. So I told the wife I needed some time away, time to think. And we were off. Me and Andy were on board, part of the J team. I mean, why I wanted a couple of bits of deadwood like us, I couldn't understand. I mean, I didn't always get what he was on about, I'm not an educated man, I left school at 15 to join my dad on the boats. But, I know I riled Josh at times. I took him to task. On several occasions. Well, I'm a Yorkshireman, We're direct. We speak from the heart, We tell it the way it is. But in spite of my failings, Josh cared for me, He cared. He loved all of us. He looked out for us. And I looked out for him. So for the last 3 years, I've travelled with this man of God. And that's what he was, And now he's dead. And I feel I had a hand in killing him. I mean, we all knew that when we came down into London, it could get tough, especially with all this bad stuff coming out in media. But nothing prepared us for what happened 2 days ago. The day before he died, we had a get-together. Well, we did most nights, but this was different. Josh asked me and John to find a private room that evening. Well, we found an upstairs room in a pub in Kentish Town, rubbish little place, but well, we thought it'd have to do. And that evening, I weren't happy from the moment we arrived. I knew something was up, Josh were in sombre mood. And all the lads were looking a bit edgy, We're all feeling a bit unsure of ourselves. A bit like first-time sailors on a rough sea. And then Josh said, "No beer tonight, lads. We're taking wine." Oh, thought, well, that's different. So he asked for some bread rolls and red wine to be brought up from bar. And as we sat round table, he held up a crusty roll and broke it in two. And he told us to do this so that we would remember him. It's like he was preparing us for his death. Well, I didn't want to hear this, and I couldn't make much sense of it anyway, Well, we had our meal, such as it was. Then Josh said he was going to perform an ancient Jewish ritual and wash our feet, as a servant would wash a guest's feet on arrival in someone's home. Apparently, that's what they did 2,000 years ago. Well, he said he'd revived it as a profound symbol to demonstrate how we should imitate his loving humility. So without saying a word, Josh filled the bowl from sink in corner of room, grabbed a towel and started washing the feet of some of the lads. Then he came over to me and said he wanted to wash my feet. And I said, "No way." I said, "You are not washing my feet. Never. Don't even think about it." I was disgusted with this filthy little ritual. And I said, "Josh, I revere you, I respect you. You're my teacher. You're my best mate. You've redeemed me. You've given me things greater than I could ever imagine. I'm not going to let you do this to me and have to wash my stinking feet." Well, he just stood there, cool as always, and said, "Rocky, you don't understand what I'm doing right now, but you will later." Well, I stood my ground and I said, "You are not going to wash my feet. Not now or ever." Oh, then he gave me that withering look, and he said, "If I don't wash you, you have no part of me." Well, that was last straw. I thought, what does that have to do with my feet being dirty? What do you mean, no part of you? I've given my all to you, Josh. I've backed you, I've supported you, I've promoted you and everything you stand for to the world for the last 3 years. How can you stand there and say I'm not part of you? Well, my mind was racing. I can tell you, it really was. I mean, I've never lost my rag with him like that. So anyway, I softened my tone, and I found myself pleading with him. I blurted out. I said, "Don't stop at my feet then. Wash all of me. Go on, why don't you?" I didn't really know what I was saying. Anyway, then Josh said, "I know you're clean from head to toe, Rocky." Then he said darkly, "But one of us here is not. One of you will inform on me." Well, he weren't joking either. I mean, I never saw him look so serious. Anyway, we all looked at each other, a bit leery-like. We were getting all tensed up. And we didn't really understand what was going on. Oh, and then it all fell apart. Everyone started arguing who was the greatest in the team, who was going to get preferential treatment in, the new realm. But the biggest blow was when Josh turned to me and said, tomorrow morning, I would deny ever knowing him. 3 times. I was hurt. I mean, I was really hurt. I mean, that stung, I can tell you. It really stung, I mean, it's like he twisted a knife in my stomach. I was so angry, I just wanted to strike out at something or somebody, I had to get out of that room. Well, we all did, We had to get some air. I said, look, lads, we all need to calm down, calm down. So, with great relief, we left that grubby little place. But strangely, one of the lads, Jude, disappeared, Well, we saw him looking at his phone, so we thought, well, he'd been called away for something. Didn't think much about it at the time. So we walked for a while, in small numbers to reduce possibility of being recognised. And we ended up on Primrose Hill. It were blissfully quiet, and we sat under an oak tree. And my son was dozed off, probably the wine. Then about an hour later, we heard police sirens. 3 cars pulled in, and a group of police ran over to us and arrested Josh. Well, we challenged him, but Joshua, cool as ever, told us to be calm, and he went quietly. Willingly, it seemed. Then I caught sight of a familiar face sitting in the back of first police car. It was Jude. That little creep had squealed on Josh. Well, we all went away, feeling angry and confused, and I didn't sleep that night. I lay down feeling knotted up inside. I was fearful what might become of Josh the following day. But I tell you, nobody could have prepared me for what was going to happen. Well, you've heard all the grisly details in the news, haven't you? The shooting. To be honest, I don't feel I can talk about Josh's death. Too raw. It's too painful, I'm sorry. I've had a few too many anyway, So. But the evening after Josh died, I was lying low in my room. And some of the lads had tried to text me, and left phone messages. But I was numb with grief, I was just dead inside. I couldn't respond, Nothing to say. And I suddenly decided I needed to get out. So I pulled my hood around me so no one would spot me. And I went into the city. And the streets were weirdly quiet, and I just walked and tried to forget what I'd done. Tried, anyway. And even then I was frightened. I was so afraid that, someone would see me and connect me with Josh. I was so ashamed, but all I could think of was saving my own skin. I couldn't stop being afraid for myself. And I tried to think on what Josh had said, that there'd be a reason for his death. But inside me, in my heart, all I could see was this scummy little coward who denied even knowing him. I mean, Josh had trusted me, and all I could think of was myself. Anyway, I found myself in the street outside the courthouse. It was completely empty now, of course. Hard to believe it had been filled with people shouting and mocking and spitting their hatred at this loving but innocent man. It's strange, but the emptiness of that place felt like a friend, the kind of old friend who understands your pain when no one else can. Maybe you know what I mean. Now, for the first time since that day, Josh had found me and Andy on the shore. I could no longer sense him with me. I was truly alone. I never felt so alone. I didn't really want to see the place where he died, but something outside of myself had pulled me back. I found the spot easy enough, the bits of long plastic tape, police crime scene tape, all tangled round a couple of lampposts. And then I saw the wall where he'd been shot. There were bloody marks still streaked across it, dried splashes of his blood on the ground. And then I realised, to my horror, that 3 fresh-looking holes in the brick were bullet holes. They'd gone through his body. I couldn't take my eyes off that wall. Oh God, my heart was just torn in two by what I saw. I couldn't look at that wall without seeing Josh's dying body. Even now it tortures me. That empty, soulless place, And I knew he was no longer there, but he was, Oh yes, he was he was there all right. And I put him there. It was my cowardice that put him there. I'm sorry. Everything inside me just tells me I killed him. And I alone, I mean, what did he die for? Who did he die for? For me? For others? I don't know. I know he said something about giving his life. No, I can't remember, I still don't get it. I'm drunk and I'm confused, I know. What I do know is we all put him there. We didn't try to stop anything, We didn't lift a finger. We weren't his friends. We were just cowardly scum, that's what we were. We just let him die. Well, maybe Josh did die for all of us, not just me. I don't know. But we were all guilty of the evils for which he died. We as good as fired that gun. I mean, what an ugly way to end the young, innocent life, eh? Maybe he died for the worst of us. I don't know. I have so many questions that will never now be answered. Why did he leave us like that, eh? Why did he leave us?